We are here and ready. Let's play.
I was wondering what the sort of correlation is between women's hormones and our sort of soul's growth.
That is a really interesting question. Our answer that we repeat to you always, in all conditions, is that the power always lies within you. But as you and Maida were discussing before hitting the record button, there is a complication that can sometimes arise with humans when you start to really claim your energetic power in this world in the midst of being human. And so your hormones are an exceptionally fascinating place to play. And we are pleased with this question. The hormones that are in your body are capable of influencing so many of your inner processes, and that includes your emotional and mental processes. It is also true, though, that your mental and emotional processes are capable of influencing your hormones and your physicality. And so this is one of those chicken or the egg situations. It can be seen by medicine often that you are at the effect of your hormones much more than how we, for example, would perceive it. We would say that there are levels and layers of energetics and emotions and even mental things that are often influencing the hormones that are below the level of your conscious awareness. And because they are therefore not conscious, they are not seen by you. And that is interpreted as being at the effect of the hormones, rather than knowing that there are ways that you are influencing your hormones just as your hormones are influencing you. Maida had a theory, and we have never addressed this with her, and we are letting her know that she's on the right path with it. She found that when she worked with women who had what is considered PMS, some of these women would have experiences of getting very weepy and needing to cry and process sadness. Some of them would have a lot of anger. And the theory that Maida devised, or the pattern that she seemed to see, was that it was as though the hormones were allowing the women to release from the system their emotion that they had most repressed throughout the month. It was like an energetic clearing that was there and available, and it had a force of hormone energetics that prevented the women's system of shutdown, which they would employ without consciousness. They would, without knowing, be repressing their sadness or be repressing their anger. But it was as though the PMS carried a level of force that was able to override that instinctive desire to block the emotion that they usually subconsciously, sometimes consciously, did not wish to experience. And so the hormones can be an incredibly supportive way to move through some of the stuff that you have resistance to moving through. But we would not encourage you to see hormones as something that you are at the effect of without any intentional ways of influencing it, in the same way that we would not invite you to look at anything in your outside world to be seen as the cause of what happens to you without your capacity to influence it. Because at the core, you are the influencer of it all, and also the experiencer.
Yeah, I get that. And I feel myself trying to work on a cyclical level, and you go sort of one step forwards, two step backwards. Is that because it's just growth all the time that you're learning to work through that, and with your hormones as well as your soul?
Maida had a session with somebody yesterday, and they are being called to vast amounts of personal growth by their own inner self. And there can be a tendency in some people to wish to not get things wrong. And the advice that came through from Maida was to look forward to and embrace the times that they get this new mode wrong, because it is an opportunity to recalibrate and recalibrate and recalibrate to the new. And so there are times that 2 steps backwards, 1 step backwards even, is a part of the journey. But we will say that the suffering that some of you experience when you feel yourself taking either 1, 2, 3, 5, 100 steps back, when that is your perception, the suffering that you experience when that happens is coming because of a judgment around the fact that you don't want to be taking steps backwards, you want to be taking steps forward. And so if that judgment of this is wrong because I want to be going over there was flipped into, oh, wow, this is another opportunity for me to recalibrate to the new. It is bringing my awareness to the way that I used to do it, and I would prefer to go this way now. This is a wonderful opportunity. Yay for me. If you were to take that attitude, the steps that feel as though they are going backwards would feel much smaller, and you would be able to shift the movement, pivot forward from there much more easily than when you are telling yourself that you are not doing well enough. The suffering is not necessary.
Okay, so if I feel like I am going backwards, it's to be kind to myself and not look at it as a step backwards.
We would say be kind to yourself under all conditions. Be kind to yourself when you are doing well. Be kind to yourself when you perceive you are not doing well. And know this, everything inside of you is always doing everything that it can to support you and to help you. All of the parts of you, in particular the parts of you that you sometimes feel are holding you back, are always doing the best that they can with what they know for you. It is always a matter of supporting and loving and never holding back for the sake of not having you go forward so that you don't expand. That is never what is happening. And so if you take an attitude of kindness, acceptance, love, and curiosity to all of that, you will be so surprised by how many steps forward you take in a row. There won't feel like there's a need to go backwards, because as you start to take a step forward, we guarantee you this. If you're about to take a step backwards, you will have a whisper of that before that happens. Imagine yourself standing, picking up your foot, and you're about to place it down as you head in a forward direction. As you start to place your foot down, if there is a part of you that is worried about the implications of what is happening from you moving forward, they will whisper to you before your foot comes down. It is when you ignore, when you do not take heed, when you do not meet the needs of those parts of you, when you do not hear them, or when you hear them and you reject them, that they then have to increase their defense of you by asking you or making you or encouraging you, often underneath the level of your conscious awareness, to take a step backwards. And so the steps backwards are often perceived by you to be going backwards. Sometimes they are, but sometimes they are actually you going deeper. Maida is sometimes surprised that she still finds herself having insights and discoveries and going deeper and deeper with her relationship with play and flow and ease and receiving and relaxation, because she is so much more advanced in it than she was previously. She sometimes feels like it is a big surprise when she sees a big available shift in front of her. But we want to tell you, and we want to tell everyone, there is no limit to how much awesomeness can be in your world, which means there is always going to be much more for you to discover and uncover. But that does not mean that you are, correction, we'll say this a different way. You will always be expanding. You will always have more available to you. There will always be a level of feeling as though there can be more for you. And as you start to take those steps with self-support, as you start to encourage yourself forward in a way of self-love, in a way of self-support, those steps will be smoother and easier. And as you find that in the same area, you keep having insights and you keep moving forward and you see that as a good thing, rather than as, I thought I dealt with this already, I must be going backwards. You will start to see that often what you are doing when you have repeated insights in the same area of life is you are going deeper. There are levels and there are layers, and many more levels and many more layers. And that is because there is no limit to how much amazingness you can have in your world, which means that if you are not yet at the place of more expansion, there is something that is stopping you from being there. And so the universe and your energetic system will conspire to show that to you so that you can get to the next place, and then the next place, and then the next place. Some of you see that as backwards. Some of you see that as being held back. But what is really going on is the co-creative experience between you and the universe, which you and the universe are actually one. You co-create opportunities for you to see what is the next step for you, where you can play next, where you can focus next in order to create more possibility and more expansion for you. And that journey is never ending. So when you tell yourself that you are going backwards, when you tell yourself that you are not doing well enough, you limit your ability to love and support yourself into expansion. And what you actually do is contract your own energy. You are never not doing well enough just because it could be better. You are never not doing well enough just because there is a different idea or form or action that you can take that would create more. You are where you are, and starting in a place of acceptance and support of self, wherever it is that you are on your journey, is what's going to help you carry yourself forward to the more and the more and the more and the more. The moment you feel that you are going backwards rather than deeper, we would invite you to really look at what is going on inside of you and what part of you isn't wanting you to take that step forward. And you'll find that it's for a reason. And you will also find that you'll have not wanted to listen to that part of you. You'll have not wanted to hear that reason. You have wanted to push forward. And because of that, the part of you that has the reason to try and protect you does not feel as though you hear it, because there are ways in which you won't. You don't want to listen to it. You want to just keep moving forward and forward and forward and forward. And so this part of you believes that something is afoot, that there is a danger, that there is something that it is best avoided. And if you do not have open communication or dialogue where that part of you feels like it is heard and understood, and you accept or understand the danger and find ways to ameliorate it, to deal with it, to manage it so that you can step forward safely, that part of you will go subterranean. It will do what you call self-sabotage. But none of that needs to happen. If you go back to taking that step forward and hearing the whispers that are always inevitably there before you take the step fully forward, you do not need to go backwards, but you will need to go deeper. And the more self-love that you can bring, the more inquisitive energy that you can bring, the more, how can I best support myself here, rather than look at me, I'm not doing well enough. Feel the energetic impact of the difference between those two statements. Feel it in your body. I'm not doing well enough. I am going backwards. I am losing the progress that I had gained. Feel how that feels heavy and contractive of your energy, and you only ever want to step forward because you want to expand. And now feel the energetic impact of this statement. This is a great opportunity. This is giving me another chance to make a conscious choice. This is me going deeper and cleaning up something that's going to allow me to move forward with so much joy. How can I best support myself to feel safe in taking this step? How can I best support myself to feel excited about taking this step? Feel the energetic difference between those two things. And now we will tell you the missing piece that makes this all work. If you catch yourself in the moment of saying, I'm not doing well enough, I am losing my progress, do not attempt then to superimpose the more high vibration ideas of, how can I support myself, over the top of, I am doing badly. Instead, turn to the parts of you that feel that you are doing badly and sit with them. Be with them, hear them, feel their experience, commune with them. Work with them, help them to see, not in a way that argues with their experience, but in a way that hears them, bees with them, and supports them to see themselves as they are. And as they are is amazing, valuable, powerful protectors of you, willing to do the impossible to take care of you, despite the fact that large parts of you are hating it for holding you back. They will not be swayed. They will do what is best for you under all circumstances, including if one of those circumstances is you hating them. And know this, that is unconditional love. Unconditional love lives inside you, for you. You all go around looking for unconditional love in other places, and you do not find it because you are not open to unconditional love inside of yourself. If you ever experience yourself as being held back by aspects of you, and we know that all of you do, know that that only happens from a place of self-love. And unless you turn and talk to those parts of you, commune with them, help them to see your perspective, hear their perspective, not in a way that argues against them or tries to get rid of them, but in a way that integrates them and uplifts them so they are a part of the whole, which they can never not be. As you meet them and meet their needs, you are meeting the aspects of yourself that you have rejected. You are learning to meet your own needs. And as you do that, you cannot but expand your own energy. You cannot but feel more lovable. You cannot but feel more accepted, more worthy, more safe. All of the things that you are looking for the outside world to give you reside within you already. It's just that you have to open the doors and embrace the aspects of you that you have rejected. This is not hard. It's not complicated, but it does take consciousness, attention, and effort. And you can do it. You can all do it. Unconditional love lives inside of you. And even if you are not yet able to feel it, feel the integrity of the energetics with which we are communicating this to you. Unconditional love already lives inside of you. You just need to turn to it and open to feeling it. And you'll have an empowered, beautiful, flowing, delicious relationship with your outside world, because you will no longer be trying to use things in your outside world to fill the holes inside of you, because there will be no holes inside of you, because you won't be locking up parts of yourself. You'll be inviting them into the fullness of who you are. And the fullness of who you are is the entirety of the universe. You are nothing less than that. We love you. We love you. We love you. Go well. God, that was massive. Oh. I can't wait to listen back to that. It felt massive coming through.
Yeah. I just get the heebie-jeebies.
Yeah, it's like this message for the world. It's like, oh, hey,
Yeah.
how are you going? How'd you go?
Yeah, okay. I felt like it's kind of sort of, you know when you sort of like expect the answer, but like you need to hear it.
Yes.
Yeah. And I just feel like it's that human self, keep going, keep doing this, keep doing that, as opposed to going within, you know, it's looking at everything outside thing.
Awesome. Yeah. Let me know if you've got any questions.
Yeah, so that sort of resistance. I get quite a lot of resistance around things. And I think it's like that fear of going inside and speaking to those parts, isn't it, almost?
Yeah. So the mini course is actually pretty fun to watch, like the video, like I keep it quite light. I think there's so much heaviness and fear and like what you said, that resistance, that it's like it really matters to me more and more and more now to keep this work really light. Like if I'm doing a session with someone and we don't laugh, something's off.
Yeah.
You know, like we want to move towards lightness and expansion, and then we try and do it with this really heavy vibe. I reckon the videos are pretty fun to watch. And also it's like listening to me going through the process myself. So it's kind of interesting. Maybe just tell yourself you don't have to do anything if you don't want to. Just watch it like Netflix.
Exactly, yeah.